All right, we are live. All right, let's make sure everything is working nice and smooth for the live stream, for the masterclass. Hopefully everybody can hear me. What's going on, everybody? We're getting started. Say what's up. If you guys are watching this, tell me where you're watching from. We're getting rolling. This is tonight is the night. Got to make sure that it's all working swell. All right. Hold on. Let's see. All right. Looks like it's working. Let's see. All right, hold on. All right. Looks like it's working. Let's see. Just checking. All right, hold on. All right. Okay. Looks good. But it looks like my I need to make my screen a little smaller. Hold on. That'll probably look better. Let's see. Probably move it over here. What's up, everybody? If you're watching this, come and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. And yeah, we'll get started in just a tad bit. Really excited to talk about what we got going on tonight. Got to make sure everything is rolling on the streams. Okay. Make sure everything is rolling on the streams. All right. Looks good to me. Can everyone hear me? If you guys are watching this live, if you can just let me know where you're if you give me a 1 in the chat if you guys can see this. If you can hear it, I believe you can hear it. This is just a check 1 2 1 2 sound check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? I believe you can hear me. Hello. All right, let's see. All right, if you guys popping in, we're about to start right on time. I got my drinks right here. I got my Coke. Got my little Kirkland signature drink just to give me a little pep in my step tonight. It's 8 o'clock right now. It's kind of late. But hey, I'm going late because you guys, maybe the kids are down. Maybe you're ready to really focus earlier in the day. We're trying a later time tonight, so let's give it a shot. Tell me where you guys are watching from. I'm excited for this class because I got some good stuff to share with you guys tonight. We are live. All right, about to start right on time. All right, here we go, folks. Here we go. All right, everybody, if you're watching this, give me a 1 in the chat. This is gonna be very interactive tonight, guys. This is for everybody. This isn't just for me. I've done this. I know what I'm gonna talk about tonight. This is for everybody who is looking to get into wholesaling, who's looking to improve the way they do wholesaling, because honestly, wholesaling is what I believe, and we're going to be going over tonight. There's a major problem with wholesaling, and it's kind of the reason why a lot of people, they're trying to regulate wholesaling. So we're going to be going over that tonight and how you can overcome that. So just letting people trickle in. Like I said, guys, this is very interactive, so I want to be chatting with you guys throughout the night because, again, it's important for me to know where you guys are at in your journey. If you guys have any questions, this is for you guys tonight. This is for my people. We're doing this for you guys, so you guys can do this business the right way, and you can flourish, and you can enjoy the business, right? You can like what you do, and if you can feel proud about what you do. Okay, because when I first started this business, I was kind of like a little shy and hesitant to tell people what I did because I felt like it was a little off, right? I felt like the process was a little off, but we're going to be breaking it down tonight. So if you're watching this live, if you guys can tell me where you're coming from, just comment where you're watching from, the United States and the world, because a lot of you guys, I live in Canada right now. I was from the United States. I am from the United States, but I live in Canada now, so you can do this business anywhere in the world. It's absolutely incredible. So yeah, let me know where you guys are watching from, because once we get started, there's no stopping. All right. All right. Okay. All right, everybody. So we're going to get started. I'm super excited to have you guys here, and let's get right into it. So today we're going to be going over how to wholesale the painless way using the pre-flipping system and sales process. All right. So tonight I'm going to show you a way to wholesale real estate that you actually feel good about. All right. That it actually feels good, because let's be real, everybody. A lot of what's been being taught right now kind of feels a little sketchy. I've told you guys this before. It feels a little off the way that people wholesale real estate. I know, because I started and I learned the traditional way that they teach people. And like I said, I didn't really like it. All right. But we're going to be going over how we can do it the right way. All right. And when I say right way, I don't just mean like what makes you feel bubbly inside, but I'm just saying what is more effective, what's more efficient. Okay. You know what I mean? You know what I mean by doing it like wholesaling is a little sketchy. If you've been doing it for a little bit, for over a week or over 2 weeks, and if you've actually been calling sellers, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Those awkward conversations, that pressure, the pressure to trick a seller. Not saying everyone's doing this, but there's pressure tactics, right? The feeling like you're doing something for people, you're doing something to people instead of for them. Okay, so we're going to be going over that tonight. If you've ever felt that little pit in your stomach about how you get deals done, this training is going to be exactly for you. It's going to be a breath of fresh air. You guys are going to feel a lot better about what you do after we get through this. I'm going to show you guys how to wholesale ethically, close more deals, and actually feel proud of what you do in this business. All right, so if you guys can, just give me a 1 in the chat. Let me know again where you guys are watching from. We're going to be bopping. Okay, we got Ron coming in here saying from Orlando, Florida. Ron, what's up, man? I've seen you many times. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for coming. And who else? You just comment where you guys are watching from. But like I said, let's get into it. So tonight, before we dive in, let's talk about how to get the most out of tonight. I want you guys to get the most out of tonight. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is this is real training. What I'm going to give you guys is not fluff. It's not just a waste of your time. I don't do long intros or fillers. I'm not trying to pitch you guys something that you won't need. We're going to get straight to what works. Second, I want you to take notes. I got a worksheet that I created for you guys. If you registered through the masterclass, you got emailed the worksheet. If you printed it off, congratulations. You're gonna fill this out, and it's gonna leave you with an actual plan, not just updates. All right, you're not just gonna. It's just not ideas. Okay, it's gonna give you actual plan to take action. And third is we're gonna stay. If you stay until the end, I've got some awesome bonuses for you that you can hang on to. Those are the things that I used to sell for thousands of dollars. I used to sell these bonuses for a lot of money, but instead I've decided to give them away for free, and I'll tell you why. And finally, after I'm done with the masterclass, I'm going to show you guys all those that are interested in listening after I'm done with this masterclass. I'm going to tell you guys how I help people install this system and sales process into their business. I'm going to break down for you guys how you can work with me personally if you want to get your next deal. This isn't just some long drawn out pitch, guys. This is legit training. I'm going to give you guys everything you need to do to go get a deal. But I'm also just going to let you guys know how I help people implement this same process I'm going to teach you tonight into their businesses. So hope that sounds fair. Okay, you guys know that I'm going to give you the training. You're going to get everything you need. And at the end, I'm just going to invite you guys to hear how I offer my services to help people implement it, okay? No long, drawn-out pitch at the end. It's literally just going to tell you guys how I help people. That's about it. All right, so let's get started with some Q&A. I got to ask you guys some questions, some true or false questions. It's a quick quiz. It's 5 questions. I want you guys to participate because, again, this is for you. Now, this is to get everyone involved and ready for tonight because it's interactive. This isn't just for me. I want you guys to interact so I can learn from you. We can learn together. I'm not here just to talk. We are here to learn together, all right? Everybody, now, if you're ready to interact and if you're ready for these true or false questions, just do me a favor. Just give me a 1 in the chat. Let me know you're ready to go, and we're going to be ready to rock. Now, we're going to go back to these later, and I guarantee that at least one of them is going to surprise you, all right? So give me a 1 in the chat and let me know that you guys are ready for these true or false questions. We got Raymond Smith coming in here. What's up, Raymond? Good to see you, man. Always good to see Raymond in here. Okay. So let's go to the true or false question. Number one, is wholesaling? No, sorry, not is wholesaling. The true or false? Wholesaling is more competitive now than ever before. Is that true or is that false? What do you guys think? Do you think wholesaling is more competitive than ever before? Maybe. Okay, we got Raymond. He's saying 1, and Ron is saying 1. All right, anybody else? What do you guys think? Wholesaling is more competitive than ever before. All right, the answer is false, and I got data to prove it, guys. People keep saying that wholesaling is too competitive, but that's false. In reality, 27% of all homes last year were bought by investors or cash buyers. That's nearly 1 in 4 homes, okay? Investor purchases are up almost 50% since 2019, meaning there are more opportunities for you guys to flip to end buyers than ever before, okay? So the opportunities are endless. There's more than ever right now. The problem isn't competition. It's that most wholesalers don't know how to sell the right way, okay? So totally get if you guys felt like it's more competitive, but tonight we're going to show you that it's not, and we're going to show you guys how you can find deals, all right? True or false? If you find a good enough deal, the money or the buyer will find you, okay? I'm going to say it again, true or false? If you find a good enough deal, the money or the buyer will find you, okay? I know this hits home for a lot of us because we've all gone in and looked at deals. All right, here we go. We got some falses, all right? Let's see. False. Great deals die every day without buyers, okay? This one hurts a lot of us, right? Because most of us have lived this. The deals that we have are good, but no one's ready to buy. 72% of wholesalers at least one deal. 72% of wholesalers lose at least one deal because they don't have a buyer lined up, all right? That's why tonight you're going to see how valuable pre-flipping a property is. You never get stuck again with a property you can't sell. True or false? The next one. You need to have a house under contract to flip it. Is that true or false? Do you need a house under contract to actually flip it these days? What do you guys think? Give me your feedback, everybody. True or false? All right. False. Let's see. False. We close deals all the time without having them under contract first because sellers sometimes aren't ready to sign a contract, but that doesn't mean we just sit there on the sidelines. And we're going to show you guys how this is done with pre-flipping. If the motivation is there, we take action. This is something we're going to teach you guys tonight. All right. This is a good one. This is a doozy. Is wholesaling real estate ethical? True or false? Is wholesaling real estate ethical? All right. We got someone saying true. TT Ma, what's up, TT Ma? Thanks for coming on. All right, TT Ma says true. Ron says false. Wholesaling is not ethical. Okay, let's see. It all depends on how you do it. All right, everybody, that is the key. That is what we're going to be going over tonight, right? Here, the truth is wholesaling isn't unethical. It just really depends on how you do it. It's just been done the wrong way by the wrong people, okay? 18 states now regulate it, not to kill it, but to clean it up. Now, the Payneless way does it transparently. We show sellers every option and let them choose what's best for them, okay? That's the difference between the pre-flipping method and traditional wholesaling. The Payneless way is we let them know all their options before they make a decision, okay? That's what makes this not just ethical, but it actually makes it a better process for everyone involved, okay? So if wholesaling isn't unethical, right? If it isn't the problem, it's just sometimes the way they do it, then what is the problem? It's the outdated process people use, okay? Most wholesalers fail not because they don't want it bad enough. I guarantee anybody that's on this call right now wants it bad enough, but it's not that, guys, but it's because they're using, and most people are using the wrong playbook. You're playing the wrong game. Tonight, I'm going to show you guys how to play it differently, the Payneless way, okay? No longer do you have to play by the rules of traditional wholesaling, locking a property up and just hoping someone will buy it. We're going to flip it today. We're going to fix it. I'm not going to hold anything back tonight, guys. I'm going to break this all down for you. I'm going to give you the exact process, which is going to allow you to close any closable deal. And I'm going to show you exactly how we implement it, not only tonight, but also in people's businesses. All right. But before we get started with the training, guys, before we dive into the system, I want to make sure that you guys are going to get the most out of this class tonight. And because of that, what I'm about to teach you can definitely completely shift how you think about wholesaling. So to do that, I create a few tools I want to give you guys to help you along and follow along and apply what you're going to learn in real time tonight, even while we're on this call. Okay. And I have these tools are going to help you guys apply this. So first, let's talk about what you're going to get tonight, what you're going to learn. First, the first thing I want you guys to understand is why most wholesalers are losing deals right now. Why is it so hard to stay consistent as a wholesaler? Okay, I don't care how good you are at this business. If you're doing the traditional wholesale model, it's not that easy to stay consistent. Number two is what is the pre-flip method and why it's changing everything and how it's changed everything for me and how I believe it can help everyone that knows and learns this process. And how to close more deals ethically while actually enjoying what you do. Yes, that's true. You guys are going to actually enjoy wholesaling. You're actually going to enjoy this business after I get done with you tonight. So a lot of you might be like, well, Nate, why are you giving away your best stuff? Why are you giving away these resources? Well, I'm giving away my best stuff for these reasons. I used to sell this information that I'm about to teach you tonight for thousands of dollars. People just pay for these playbooks, for these courses, and I give them to them. But look, over time, I realized that information alone doesn't change lives. Implementation does. So you could have all the information in the world, but if you don't know how to implement it, it doesn't matter. So tonight, I'm going to give you the same playbooks my students use for free if you stay till the end. Okay, does that sound fair, everybody? Does that sound fair? That you just have to stay till the end because there's an automation that triggers if you stay and you join the masterclass, you get sent the playbooks at the end. And to make sure that you guys actually know how to use them, I made something special for you guys to help you follow along tonight. And you're actually going to be able to fill this out. Okay, so I created you guys what is the pre-flipping crash course worksheet. It goes perfectly with what I'm showing you guys tonight. I made this worksheet so you guys could follow along and take away the most from the class tonight, because I know if you fill this out as you go, you're going to retain it more, you're going to learn it more. And this isn't just for me just to flap my gums and just hope that you guys understand what I'm talking about. I want you guys to really learn it. So I got this worksheet for you. By the way, you're not going to have to guess when to fill it out, by the way. I'm going to tell you exactly when to do it. And the goal here is for you guys to walk away with clarity, not just information, okay? Forget information. You guys have to know how to apply it. Now, look, this isn't homework. Don't think I'm trying to give you guys homework. This worksheet is going to be your first deal plan. It's going to allow you to know what to do to get a deal. By the time we're done, you'll know the best markets to wholesale in. You're going to know how to get motivated seller leads and exactly what to say to sellers. All right, everybody, is that cool? Give me a 1 if you guys are cool with that. That's what we're going to be going over tonight. All right. I just want to make sure you guys are with me because, again, I do check in on you. Want to make sure that you're all in because we're about to fly through this stuff. We got Marjorie's, I'm going to be telling a story about that later. When do we start learning this method? Maggie, we just got started. We're about to dive right into it. All right. So I'm glad you asking that. All right. We got some ones coming. And Maggie is saying, let's get to the juice, Nate. Quit playing games. All right. So that's what she's saying. I believe that's what you're trying to say. So let's get right into it. So now that you guys have the tools, you got the playbooks that are coming, you got the worksheet. I want you guys to get out the worksheet. And what you're going to do is right here at the bottom, it says fill in question 1 and 2. Okay. So if you print out the worksheet, fill it out. If not, I'm just going to ask the questions that are on the worksheet and you can put them in the chat. Okay. So you're doing what everyone else says to do as a wholesaler. You're finding sellers, you're running comps, you're making offers, you're talking to buyers. So why does it still feel like such a grind as a wholesaler? Why is it so difficult? Why do some deals work and others fail? Okay. Why do other deals fall apart? The problem isn't you, everybody. Let me tell you this again. The problem's not you. It's the process you're using. It's not your work ethic or your market. It's the process, the old process that has been taught and is still being taught by a bunch of the gurus out there. Okay. There's something baked into it that makes consistency almost impossible. I know because I'm going to explain to you tonight why it makes it so difficult to be consistent as a wholesaler. So grab your worksheet, everybody, write down, and this is the question that's on there. What's been the hardest part for you so far as you've tried wholesaling? Is it finding sellers? Is it knowing what to offer? Is it staying consistent? Because in a minute, I'm going to show you guys that all of it connects to the same hidden flaw, the same flaw that makes wholesaling so difficult to stay consistent with. And while you're typing your answer into the chat, like what's been the main struggle for you as a wholesaler, I'm going to share what I used to believe. I used to believe that finding motivated sellers was the hardest part of this business. I was like, oh man, it's so hard to find motivated sellers. I'm not going to be able to ever find a good deal. Nobody will accept low enough of an offer. That's what I used to believe. So go ahead, type in the chat. I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys believe has been the hardest part? All right. Yeah. Maggie saying awesome. We're getting to it. Leads. All right. We got Raymond saying leads. What else? What else do you guys think has been the hardest part? Because we're diving in right now. All right, everybody. So we're going to talk about why wholesaling feels so broken. All right. And we're going to answer that. But before I can answer fix wholesaling, but before we fix this and talk about why it's so broken, I need to let you guys know, I got to make sure that we're all on the same page on what wholesaling means, because if we don't have the same foundation, then it's going to be difficult. So let's make sure we understand what wholesaling is. You find a discounted property, you get it under contract, and you sell that contract for a profit. That's what wholesaling is. That's what everyone teaches. And in theory, it's really good. It works really well in theory. Okay. But in practice, it's a lot messier. The ARV changes by street to street. The ARV will change. Okay. The value of properties. Buyers pay different numbers across the board. Sellers have different motivation. The math works great in a spreadsheet. I know, because I have the Payneless offer calculator. It works really good. But until you apply it to the real world, that's when it kind of gets a little bit more difficult. But in a nutshell, that's what wholesaling is. And on paper, this looks amazing, okay? You find a discounted property and you give it to a buyer for a fee, $20K fee. That's, in theory, it works really well. You find a seller, put the house under contract, sell it to a buyer, easy. But here's where it starts to happen once you're actually, so this is actually what starts to happen when you do wholesaling. This is it. And this is probably going to ring true for a lot of you guys. You find a seller who wants way more than the formula says. How many of you guys have felt that? You find a seller and you're like, oh, they finally want to sell. They're motivated, but they want way too much. Okay. Then you find a seller that wants way more than the formula. Then you send it to your buyers, and half of them tell you that your price is crazy that you got it under contract for. They're like, this deal sucks. How many buyers have told you your deals suck? Others say that they'd pay more if it were in a better part of town. And they're like, oh, I'd be interested in it if it wasn't in that street. You realize there's no universal number. Every buyer values the same deal differently. Every market moves differently. And that's why the perfect wholesaling model keeps falling apart in real life. Okay, that's one of the main issues. Is in theory, it sounds good. So traditional wholesaling is broken and it keeps you stuck. Here's what really goes on. This is what's going on, everybody. And this is like kind of one of the core issues. Most wholesalers are still using the same outdated 70% formula that they learned back in 2015. You know the one I'm talking about, everybody. The ARV times 70% minus your repairs, minus your wholesale fee. On paper, the system makes sense and it looks good. But in real life, it's just structured guessing. You're just guessing. You're hoping that somebody will actually want that. In some markets, 70% has you offering way too low. If you're in Salt Lake City, Utah, or any of these major metros where there's a lot of buyers, 70% is way too low in most of these places, okay? While real buyers are paying 85%, 90% of ARV minus repairs in your wholesale fee, okay? So your offers get laughed at, sellers hang up on you, and you never even get in the game. In other markets, that same formula has you way too high. How many of you have done the 7% rule in a market and everyone's like, whoa, dude, you're still too high on that deal, okay? So you lock up bad deals, you can't sell them, you waste weeks trying to move them, and then you burn credibility in the process and you burn the seller. Now, the seasoned vets, the people that can actually make this work consistently, well, not even consistently, but most of the time, they can sometimes make it work because they've done hundreds of deals and just feel the market. But for everyone else, you're stuck trying to build a business on averages and hope doesn't scale. That's why so many wholesalers stay stuck, bouncing between offers that are too low to win and too high to sell. The truth is, you can't comp your way to confidence. You need proof. You need real buyer feedback before the deal is locked up. And that's where the pre-flipping method That's where this pre-flipping method that we're talking about, guys, this is where it flips the entire game. Instead of guessing what buyers pay or what they're willing to pay, we know what they'll pay because they tell us what they're willing to pay. So every offer we make is backed by proof, not math, just made up on a spreadsheet. Okay, it's backed by proof. That's how we stopped wasting time and we started making confident offers and finally started closing deals consistently. And I'm going to explain to you guys in this training how you do this. And I can say that because I used to do it the old way, guys, I used to do it this way. And I know how it was. I followed that 70% formula religiously until it almost made me want to quit this business. Okay, legit. I almost thought about quitting this a couple years ago. When I first started wholesale, and I'm curious, does anyone felt like that? Has anyone felt like, man, I've kind of thought about potentially quitting this business because it's not as easy as they say it is. All right. Let me tell you about my experience. This is a legit story. This is not just a story. This is real life. It is a story, but this is how it went down for me, guys. When I first started wholesaling, I'll be honest, I hated the way it made me feel. It didn't feel like a legit business to me, guys. It felt like I was gambling almost on every deal. I'd throw out a number and I hoped it would work. I'd lock up a deal and then I'd start sweating. I'd be kind of worried about it because I didn't know if I had locked it up too high, or I didn't know if I'd be able to sell it. Who else has felt like that, where they lock up a deal and they're like, shoot, I don't even know if I can sell this thing. And if I couldn't move it, I had to crawl back to the seller and try to renegotiate. All right, which crushed my confidence and my credibility and honestly, it crushed my motivation. Let me know if this is ring true for you guys. Now, the only time I ever felt confident locking up a deal was when it was super, super low. Okay, like super below value, where it's just like a home run. Okay, and those are the deals that you hear most of the wholesalers talk about, because they're just getting the home run deals because they offer so low and they get them here and there. Okay, but they're not consistent with it. Okay, that's when I felt confident, was when I got it super low. But that rarely happened because there's always competition on deals. There were other wholesalers that would bid up the property and the sellers would chase the highest number. So I was losing to wholesalers that would just lock up the property at a price that didn't even make sense. And then they would just renegotiate later. And I was losing because I was just offering low offers because I was like, oh, that'll work. Now, back then, I was working in my local market of Salt Lake City, Utah. And people told me, look, Nate, you should go nationwide. It's way easier. There's less competition, more opportunity. Anybody heard that? Anyone heard that nationwide is easier? So I did that. And at first it looked like it was working. Me and my team, we locked up 40 contracts within a couple weeks. And we were like, dude, we're going to get rich. This is the greatest thing ever. It's so easy to lock up people and sell deals nationwide. Everybody wants you to buy their house. But then reality hit, guys. Out of 40 contracts, we had to cancel 39 of them. We had to crawl back to 39 people and say, hey, we can't buy your house. That was the traditional wholesaling model. That was the moment I realized I wasn't building a business. I was literally just building a guessing machine. I was building a machine that could not produce real results. Maybe it could here and there, but it was not giving me the confidence that I wanted in the business. I was using formulas and rules that couldn't possibly work across every city, every market, every type of deal. I've been told this was how you should wholesale. That's what I was taught. But it was just really, I don't know, it was just guessing, other than it was literally just guessing. All right. Now, obviously you had the data and you had the comps, but still it wasn't very clear. And it almost made me quit. I literally was about to quit. I didn't want to run a business built on hope. I wanted something predictable, repeatable, and honest, where I could tell a seller the truth and still close deals with confidence. Has anyone else felt like that? Guys, give me a 1 in the chat if you're like, yeah, I've kind of felt like that before. We got Raymond Smith saying, I won't quit because I know it'll make good money. Raymond, I love it, man. You stay strong, but let me tell you, you got to do it the right way, or you're going to waste a lot of time like I did. Okay. So this is the market mastery myth. This is what they told me. Now, after I stopped blaming the 70% rule, I thought, maybe I had figured it out. I said, maybe I just need to know my markets better. Maybe I just need to master my markets. And that sounds smart, right? Like that sounds like that would solve the problem. But the more I started expanding, the more I realized there's no such thing as mastering a market. I don't care who you talk to. There's no such thing as mastering a market. Every city, every zip code, every buyer pool is completely different. Okay. Buyers are completely different. What works in Phoenix won't work in Detroit. Even in the same neighborhood, you can have someone that is a buyer that offers 100,000, and then you can have another buyer that offers 260,000. That's 160,000 difference. So the idea of knowing your market sounds like control, but really it's just actually another version of guessing. As a wholesaler, you don't need to know your market. You need proof from the market. Okay, that's what we're going to be getting into. And that's exactly what pre-flipping gives you. Real-time buyer data that replaces guessing with confidence. Now, I'm going to give you guys a real scenario that I'm going through right now. And it has a picture, but it's not loading. Okay, this is a property that we're working on right now in Atlanta. So let me share this example with you guys of how broken the old way is. This is a deal we're working on right now in Atlanta. The same house, the same market, same day, same everything. And I've received offers from buyers ranging anywhere from $100,000 like I used in the example, to $267,000. That's $167,000 range difference. Think about that for a second, guys. How could any formula possibly account for that kind of spread? How many deals have you guys passed on or never made an offer on because you assume buyers wouldn't pay more than your spreadsheet said they would? That's what happens when you rely on guessing instead of proof. The truth is the market isn't one fixed number. It's a range, and every buyer is different. The pre-flipping method actually lets us find that range before we make the offer. So every deal we go after is based on what real buyers are actually paying, not what a rule from 2015, the 70% rule, told us to offer. Okay, and it all clicked for me after I saw how broken the guessing game was. Like the Atlanta deal I just explained to you, I had a moment that completely changed everything for me when I was nationwide wholesaling. Okay, I want you to meet my girl Margaret. All right, we were wholesaling nationwide at the time, and I met this woman named Margaret. She was in one of those tough spots. She needed to sell her house fast. She had already been burned by 3 wholesalers who told her that they could buy her house. Okay, and these 3 different wholesalers all burned her. Each one locked her up, made promises they couldn't keep, and then backed out and tried to renegotiate with her. And she was sick and tired of it. When I got on the phone with her, she was just like, look, I don't even want to deal with this anymore. Everyone keeps lying to me. And she did not want to sign anything with me. I was talking to her. I was like, hey, look, I totally understand where you're coming from, but she wasn't about it. So after talking to her for a little bit, I just dropped everything. The act of like, oh, I'm a cash buyer, I want to buy your house. And this is what I said to her. I said, look, you don't need to sign with me. All right. You don't want to sign a contract. No worries. I'm not going to lock you up in 5 days of inspection or whatever the heck, people say. You don't need to sign with me. Just give me 2 days. I said, just give me 2 days and I'll tell you exactly what I can pay. No games, no gimmicks. And I didn't guess. I didn't use a formula. I didn't tell her what I could pay. I just said, hey, I think I can get you what you're looking for. Just give me 2 days. Don't sign with anybody else and just wait. She's like, okay, I'll give you 2 days. I ran it by real buyers in the market and came back the next day. I didn't need 2 days. I had 1 day. I reached out to some of the buyers that we had, and I used data to find buyers that were buying the area. And the next day, I came back with a solid offer. One backed with proof, not a promise. I said, hey, I'm freaking ready to go. Margaret, if you're ready to go, I'm ready. I told her I'd even put down $5,000 in non-refundable earnest money that I would not get back if if we backed out, right? If we canceled. And she was like, okay. So I told her I'd do that. And then we closed in 3 days. Okay. That deal closed smoothly. She was happy and the buyer was happy. And we made $18,000 in just a few phone calls. So what was the difference? Okay. I hope you guys understand. That's when it hit me. How many deals are lost every day because wholesalers guess first and prove later? Okay. How many Margarets are being burned out there? A lot of them. Okay. Now that's when everything changed for me, guys. I realized I didn't need to chase sellers or lock up every deal just to hope it would work and close. I needed a process that would let me prove what a deal was worth before making an offer. So sellers trusted me and buyers backed me. That's what pre-flipping is, okay? It's a system that replaces guessing with proof, and it lets you make offers no one else can compete with. Now, we're getting into the pre-flip method, and I'm super stoked to show you that, guys, because this is what's going to change the game for you. So now that you've seen how the old model is broken and it's just a bunch of guessing, here's what replaces it. The pre-flip method flips the whole process on its head. Instead of guessing what a property is worth or what a buyer might pay, we start with proof. Before we ever make an offer, we test the market. We get real feedback from buyers, actual buyers. So when we go back to the seller, we're not guessing and we're super confident. And that confidence changes everything. Sellers trust you more because you're speaking from data. Buyers move faster because their deal makes sense and you're going to them with specific credibility saying, hey, this is something that I think specifically would be good for you instead of just an email blast. And you stop wasting time chasing fake opportunities. That's what the pre-flip method is. It's the bridge between the seller's reality and the buyer's proof. And when you operate from proof instead of hope, you win every time. You make offers that no one else can compete with. Okay? So for everybody that's watching this, give me a 1 in the chat if you guys understand what I'm going through, because we're about to dive in a little bit deeper here into the process of doing this. I just want to make sure everyone that's watching this, give me a 1 if you're like, okay, it makes sense. Guessing does not get you a repeatable business. It creates a guessing machine of business. Does anyone else feel like they've just been guessing and they've been missing, right? They've either been too high or too low, or their offers have been too low. No one's even accepting their offers. Let me know what you guys think. Let me take a little drink too. Raymond Smith says, yeah, I feel like I've been guessing. TT, yeah. Who else? I love it. I love it. Keep it coming. All right, everybody. So let's talk about where the pre-flip method really starts. All right. It's leverage. Now, what most gurus will tell you, they say, go where there's no competition, find small markets, stay away from big metros. All right. And honestly, guys, that's probably some of the worst advice I've ever heard in the entire industry, because when you go into quiet, low competition markets, you work harder to get deals. Yes, maybe a seller will say, yes, they'll take your offer, but that's because you're the fifth person they've talked to that couldn't get the deal done. And then you realize that there's no one to sell the deal to. Okay. I've done it. I did nationwide wholesaling for like 2 years, and you waste so much time trying to do deals. You lock up a property, start shopping it around, and suddenly you're begging for a buyer. You're not even negotiating for a buyer. You're begging for one. But when you're in a competitive market where real buyers are already active and fighting for deals, that's where you can leverage this. All right. That's where the leverage flips, when you're in a competitive market. Now, right here, you guys can see that the competitive markets are the ones in blue. You can sell your properties to anyone when you're in a competitive market. You can stack offers, bid them up, and make more per deal. That's where the pre-flipping method thrives in competitive markets, because it uses those active buyers as your proof. Right market leads to right leads. Right leads lead to the right conversations, the real conversations. And those conversations are what allow you to make offers no one else can compete with. Okay, so it all starts with being in a competitive market. So you don't want to run and hide from a competitive market. That's where you will thrive with the pre-flip method. So now that you're in the right market, the next piece is getting the right leads. And here's what most people miss, everybody, is gurus will tell you that you need to pick one lead source to find some secret niche where no one else is marketing. This doesn't exist, okay? But when you're pre-flipping, it doesn't matter where you get leads from, okay? Because once you have buyers lined up, every lead is a potential deal. Whether it's direct to seller, direct to agent, or even direct to wholesaler, the framework stays the same. You're not chasing leads. You're qualifying opportunities and using buyer proof to make offers other people can't touch, so you win every time. And tonight, I'm going to show you guys how this looks specifically in direct to seller. That's what we're going to be focusing on tonight. Because once you master that conversation, you can win in any market with any type of lead. Okay, so sorry, I skipped this one. Now that you're in the right market and working the right leads, okay, the next step is where everything changes. It's having the right conversation. You're in the right market. You have the right leads. Okay, now you have the right conversation. Most wholesalers think making more offers is the answer, and that is not the answer. I know, because I tried it. I tried just sending out tons of offers with an automatic service thing, and it just does not work. People just don't even respond to your offers. They send out, a lot of wholesalers are taught to just send out hundreds of lowball offers, hoping one will stick, and then wonder why sellers stop answering their calls or why it's not working. But making more offers doesn't fix bad conversations. The key isn't volume, it's clarity. It's quality over quantity. The first step to making offers that no one can compete with is learning how to have the right conversations, one that uncovers what the sellers actually need, okay? And that starts by doing something that's going to completely sound foreign to you guys or like counterproductive. And it's what most wholesalers are not taught to do, right? They're taught to do the opposite. But what we do is we disqualify the seller. Okay. We try to get them off of the phone. I'm going to explain how this process works. Okay. Let's see. All right. So I want you guys all to take out your worksheet, because this is going to be one of the questions on the worksheet. Here we go. When we talk to a seller, we don't start with comps or condition like everybody else. That's the process I used to follow when I was a noob, or when I was doing it the painful way, not the painless way. I would just, hey, can you tell me about how many bedrooms and baths you have? Will you tell me about the floor? Guys, I don't even talk about that stuff anymore, because that's not important yet. Like, that's not important. Really, like, a lot of the times I'll do a deal and I won't even know anything about the house because it's more about the situation, which we're going to get into. Now, most wholesalers jump right into trying to sell. They ask about the repairs. They ask about the numbers or the ARV. They're trying to find leverage. And the sellers, they can feel that. That's the truth. Sellers can feel that you're trying to pull information out of them about their house. The moment they sense that you're trying to buy low, they guard themselves, right? Has anybody else had a seller just kind of cut you off and be like, what's your offer? You lose trust before you ever have the chance to earn it. Okay. And if you lose trust, you lose the deal no matter how good your offer is. Okay. Because nobody wants to work with someone they don't trust. That's why we do the opposite. We disqualify them first. I know it sounds backwards, everybody, but this is how we flip the dynamic. It's how we flip the script. Instead of trying to convince, we help them think. We help them know their options. We walk them through every option they might have. And we do this by asking these questions. So write down these questions on your sheet of paper. This is what you need to ask sellers. Have you thought about listing it? Why not fix it up yourself? Could you rent it? Why don't you just keep it? What's keeping you back from just keeping this thing? And do you have to sell it? The moment you start doing this, the tone changes completely. Okay. Sellers start trusting you. The seller realizes you're not just some desperate guy trying to buy their house. You're the only person being honest with them. Okay. And that's the moment where trust is built. If they stay on the call after that, that's your signal that you're talking to someone that's motivated. They want a solution. Now, if you go through this process and they're like, yeah, maybe I should just go list it with my Aunt Jane, then you say, go ahead. I think it's a good idea. I'll be here if Aunt Jane doesn't list your house. Okay. You're not desperate. You're looking for the right opportunities that you can close fast and you can help people. Okay. Now you've got proof of motivation, no guesses, no scripts, no sales tactics. All right. That's how you make offers that no one else can compete with. You have to find the motivation, the real reason why they're selling, and you have to get their trust. Because when the seller trusts you, they'll give you the truth. The walls will come down and they'll tell you exactly what's going on. And that's the foundation every winning pre-flip offer has built in it. We have to gain that trust. Okay. I'm going to check in on you guys. I like to check in on, make sure you guys are doing good. Does this make sense, everybody? Does that make sense what I'm saying when it comes down to you disqualify the seller? It positions you in a place where you are no longer just the needy buyer, but you are looking and you're building trust because you're helping them find the best decision for them to make. Give me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense, guys. I want to check in, make sure this is flowing. Okay. And I know some of these concepts might be new, but again, I want to check in on you. Give me a 1. Okay. We got Raymond saying makes sense. You have to disqualify the lead. Okay. TT Ma, she says yes. All right. She gives me 1. All right. So look, once we've built trust with sellers, this is where we separate ourselves from the average wholesaler. Okay. Most people throw out numbers and they just hope it sticks. They're guessing. Again, they're just like, I hope this makes sense. I hope this works. But look, what we do is we don't guess. We test the market before we commit. Now, sometimes that means that we'll still get a house under contract, especially if the seller's ready to move quick and move forward right away. But in most cases, sellers don't want to sign anything unless they feel confident that it's real, until they feel like it's legit. And that's exactly where pre-flipping shines. How many of you guys have talked to a seller that's like, I don't want to sign anything until they feel super good or until like it's a sure thing? That's the kryptonite of a wholesaler. Not for us. We tell them, look, I don't want to waste your time or make any empty promises. Let me take this to a few of my cash buyers and see what they're actually willing to pay for properties like yours. That way, we're not guessing, okay? We're bringing them back real feedback from real buyers. And when we do this, we come back with a final offer, a strong offer, an offer that no one else can compete with because it's real. It has no due diligence most of the time. It has high earnest money, okay? And it's not based on a formula that's just based on guessing. It's based on truth. And that's why sellers trust us more, and we do deals. And we actually do more deals. Now, this might be something crazy to you guys, but most wholesalers think locking up a property is a win. How many of you guys have been seeing these videos where people are like, I closed the seller live? Whoop-de-doo. I can do that all day. I can just lock up people and everyone can be like, wow, Nate got to someone to sign a contract. But do we see what actually happens to that contract? Do we see if they actually sold it? No, we don't. Okay. Most wholesalers think locking up the property is the win, but locking it up means nothing if you have nothing to back, if you can't back it up. Okay. If you have to back out of the deal, renegotiate, or cancel later, who cares if you locked it up live? That's why we test first. Sometimes with the property under contract, sometimes with it, with or without it under contract, doesn't matter. The goal isn't to tie up the property. Who cares about that? The goal is to get it right the first time so you don't lose trust. We only make an offer once we've built trust, confirmed motivation, and tested what buyers are actually willing to pay. By the time we give the seller the final offer, it's not just an offer, it's legit. And when a seller sees that level of honesty and certainty, they don't just accept the offer. They're actually glad to work with you because they understand what the heck's going on in the process. Okay. Does that make sense, everybody? I want to check in on you guys again that making offers should be like a proposal. You should know if they're going to say yes or not just make an offer and just cross your fingers and hope. That's honestly like one of the biggest things I hated about traditional wholesaling was like, you would just make an offer and you would just hope that they would accept it. But that's not how you do it with pre-flip. With pre-flip, you know beforehand if they're going to say yes or not. Okay. So now I know this concept might seem a little, not strange, but it might be a little new to you guys. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in action so you really understand it. So now that you've seen it all come together and how we can combat the guessing game, you've got the right market where the buyers are fighting to buy. You've got the right leads that open real conversations, and they're open to real conversations. And you've got the pre-flipping process where every offer is backed by proof, not guesswork. But I know that what you guys are probably thinking, okay, Nathan, this is great in theory, right? This sounds just like peachy, but how does it actually work in real life? So I'm going to show you guys some real scenarios, and I'm going to walk you through a few real deals so you know exactly how this plays out from the very first conversation all the way to the close. You guys are going to see how we built trust, tested the market, and made offers no one else could compete with, which won these deals, and how that changed everything for us and for the seller. So let's start with one of my favorite examples, and I'm going to start with a banger. So I just want to make sure you guys are ready. Is everyone following me? Okay, because I know I'm going fast, but we're about to get in. I'm going to show you guys how this is applied in real life, how you're able to find buyers that will give you the proof. But let me know. I'm going to say give me a 1, but what do you just say yes, like if you guys are with me, because again, 1 is kind of boring right now. Say yes, I get it. Let me see those examples so I know how I can use this. Say yes in the chat if you guys get this, and if not, I want to hear why. Like, I want to hear from you guys. Like, do you have any questions before I keep going? Because I don't want to go too fast. All right. Yes. Okay. TT Ma gets it. All right. All right, guys, check this out. You're gonna love this. This is gonna blow your minds because this blew my mind when I first started doing this, and this is a deal that we would have made 0 on if we were traditional wholesalers. All right, so case study number 1, everybody. This is Eugene, 111 Eugene Street, $86,000 lesson. Check this out, everybody. So the seller, this house was a very big house. All right, it was in Salt Lake City. It was 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, and the seller, she wanted $800,000. Okay. The ARV of the property, or what we believed, what Zillow said was like 858 to 800. It was like she wanted pretty much what Zillow said. Now the problem, it was tough to comp. Her house was a little older than all the newer builds in the area. It was a different model, different style. It was hard to comp. Who else has come across that where it's difficult to comp? Now there weren't very many true comparisons. And if we told her up front that we'd have to be around 600 to 630, she would have shut the conversation down instantly. Who else has been there where you're talking to a seller, you know they're motivated, and she was motivated. She was going through a divorce. She did not want to list it. She just wanted to get it done under the radar. She didn't want to deal with anything, but she was not yet at the point where she knew we're realistic. She was not realistic yet. And I know in this situation, most of the situations that you guys are going to be in this situation where the seller they're motivated, but they want too much. If you throw out a low offer, you're just going to offend them and they're going to go work with someone else. So we knew that this was the perfect scenario for a pre-flip. Okay. Now, if you're doing this the traditional way, you would have plugged in 70% formula and it would have told you that your offer needed to be around 450. Okay. Because if the ARV is around 800,000. It was like a 4,000 square foot home. You do the repairs, you do the math. It's going to drop the price down super low, because the higher you go in price, the more it cuts it down. The percentage just cuts it down a lot lower. So 450 is where the traditional wholesale formula would have got her. And that's why I say the 70% rule makes you miss 70% of your deals. Instead, we ran it the pre-flipping way. We found out what real cash buyers were willing to pay and what they were actually willing to offer. And we found out that most of the cash buyers were around 630 to 650. Okay, that we were pretty right. We're not right all the time. Neither is anybody, right? No one really knows until they start getting offers, but that was the range. Okay. So what we did is, once we got those offers, we shared that information with her. We said, hey, look, most of the cash buyers that are coming in that we wholesale to are in the range of 630 to 650. Okay. We told her that's the range. And this is where they're landing at. And here's why: because of this and this and this with your property. Now, she saw that we weren't making these numbers up, and that the real investors were walking her house and making those offers that gave her proof. Okay, that made it feel real. Imagine if in the beginning I would just been like, yeah, we need to be around 620 or 630, didn't go walk the house. And if I just threw that number out there, again, she would have shut me down. So instead, we pre-flipped it, sent buyers through, and we're like, all right, we're going to know exactly where they're going to be before we even tell her like a final firm offer. All right. And once she understood that she was unrealistic, not from us, we weren't the bad guys in this scenario. We let her know what most cash buyers are willing to pay. They were able to reset her expectations without pressure, without sales tactics, without us being the bad guys. Then something crazy happened. All right. This happens all of the time when you pre-flip. This happened. One unicorn buyer came in at $739,000. Okay. That's $89,000 higher than the next best offer that we had. Okay. The seller would have never found this buyer on her own. And honestly, we almost didn't either. Okay. But in the end, everyone won. The seller got more than she thought was possible. The buyer got a great deal, and we made a strong profit. Now, average cash buyer was around 630 to 650. We landed on with her at 652. We gave her more than the range of where all the buyers were. We were able to give her $2,000 more than the next highest offer. If that unicorn buyer at 739 would have dipped, we would have had to tell her, hey, look, we're going to actually need you lower. But we were able to get her one of the highest offers, or the highest other than the unicorn buyer, which we still to this day don't know why he paid that much, but it happens all the time. Maybe he wanted to live in it himself and he wasn't looking to flip it. All right. Now look, in the end, everybody won. And that's why pre-flipping is dope, because this is a deal that a traditional wholesaler would have blown. I guarantee it. Traditional wholesaling would have killed this deal on the first call by just being like, well, we buy houses at this price. I can make you this offer. It would have blown the deal. But by pre-flipping it, the seller stayed in the loop, trusted the process. And guys, guess what? We didn't even lock this under contract until we knew it was truly a deal. Because it didn't make sense for us to say, hey, we think it's around this price, so let's lock it up. Like this, in this scenario, we needed to get the information before we locked it up and before we had it under contract, because she didn't want to sign anything until she knew it was legit, because she had to get it signed, not only with her, but her ex had to sign it as well, because they were getting divorced. So they both had to agree. She didn't want to have the conversations with him, all that, like going back and forth. She wanted something real. Okay. I want you guys in the chat to let me know, do you see how this specific deal would have gotten blown by traditional wholesaling model if we would have just told her, hey, we need to be low, made the offer, sent her the contract? It wouldn't have worked. Do you guys, do you follow that? This happens day after day after day, deal after deal. You're running into scenarios where just lowballing people is going to upset them. It's not going to get the trust you need, and it's just not the right model to go with. All right. Yep. Raymond, you get it? Is that, I got to check. I got to pulse check. I got to make sure you guys are still awake. I know it's kind of late. I usually don't go this late, but I'm feeling good. Does everyone get it? We got Raymond that understands. This is not a deal that would have worked on the traditional model. And that's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it, Raymond. I'm telling you, 86K, try $0 on this deal if you did it traditionally. Okay. All right, let's dive right next into the other one. I got people coming in saying, yeah, they get it. Okay. This is the next deal, $35,000 deal. Okay. This is going to ring true to a lot of you guys. King Street. It was a battle. The seller was in pre-foreclosure. He was days away from losing his home. An agent, he had hired a real estate agent that was running it as cash only, highest and best. So we were up against tons of different cash buyers, tons of different wholesalers, okay? Mainly wholesalers, because the wholesalers that are the ones that do the marketing. So you had big investors, local gurus that coach people how to wholesale were in on this game against us. And even their students all throwing out offers, hoping it would stick. They were guessing. And these offers were all over the place, and they were not real offers. Okay. Traditional wholesalers lose in situations like this all the time because they're guessing. Their offers are bad. They're literally long days of due diligence, which the seller couldn't do because he was in pre-foreclosure, was going to lose his home. They have little earnest money, so there's little certainty. Okay. So traditional wholesaling is based on guessing. They lock it up at a low number, try to sell it off, and when they can't, they try to renegotiate or cancel. But in this case, if they tried to cancel, this would have meant the seller would lose his house. How many of you guys have been in a situation where you can't gamble with the seller's time? They don't have time, okay? We didn't have that kind of time to gamble either. We didn't want to just wait till they accepted our offer to then go find out what someone would pay. That's the traditional way. So what we did is we couldn't play that guessing game. We had to make a real offer that could actually close. What did we do instead? So instead of rushing to lock it up, we pre-flipped it first. We got feedback from multiple buyers. Again, we did not have this under contract, but we had buyers. And we said, hey, go check out the house. This agent did not care. Agent said, yeah, go ahead. Show the house. I don't give a crap. Including, we got multiple of our buyers to go through, including one of our top hedge fund buyers, and let them walk it. They analyzed it, and they gave us their best offer. The agent told us that she was reviewing offers on a specific date, so we used that time to get buyer data and not guessing, right? To get real feedback. When it came time to submit, we came in with 0 days inspection on our offer. Okay, we said our offer, 0 days due diligence, and $50,000 in non-refundable earnest money. That's what the hedge fund was willing to do. They wanted the deal. Said $50,000 non-refundable earnest money, 0 days due diligence, and even let the seller stay on the property 2 weeks after close, because we knew from taking them through the disqualification process that was really important to them. Okay, we weren't just making offers based on price and hoping we would get a deal. We actually found out what they wanted, and we came in with an offer that no one else could compete with. Now, our offer was actually $20,000 to $30,000 lower than a lot of the other offers that were coming in, but it was bulletproof. It was real. And the agent said yes on the spot. We made $35,000 on that deal. And more importantly, we helped the seller avoid pre-foreclosure and stay in the house after and walk away with a little bit of money in his pocket. That's what happens when you lead with proof instead of promises, right? Instead of broken promises. Pre-flipping doesn't just win deals, it wins trust. And that's why it beats traditional wholesaling every time. Again, if they would have went with anybody that offered $20,000, $30,000 more than us, they would have gotten locked up. They would have went through their 4 or 5 day wholesaling inspection period. They would have realized that they were $20,000 or $30,000 too high because we had the best buyer that we just had to go through before everybody else waited, and we won the deal. Now, they would have had to renegotiate with the guy. If the guy didn't want it, he could have potentially lost his house. That's why wholesaling is trying to be regulated, because a lot of people just are locking up properties that they cannot do anything with. Okay, we don't do that. Okay, I hope you guys are understanding the magnitude of and the importance of doing it the right way, because it makes this job easy. You're not guessing. You're not making promises that you can't keep. All right, this is the next case study where we made $12,000. This is a weird one. This was a property that was very difficult to comp. Okay, it was not like any of the other houses. And I know you guys run into these. I know you run into properties that are man, This is not easy to know what people would pay for it because it's really hard to comp. It's really hard to know what it's worth. So every wholesaler that had this deal before us, there was like 3 of them, 2 or 3 that tried to wholesale this before us. Okay. They failed because they would just negotiate a price. They would try and find somebody who's willing to pay their price. And then they'd go back and try and not be able to get it done. Okay. The seller was stuck on their number and they had creative financing was the only way to make their number work. Okay. But instead of us trying to make some creative finance offer that we think buyers would do, we just asked our buyers what the terms they wanted. But traditional wholesaling makes that a nightmare, right? If you guys have ever tried to negotiate a creative financing offer with a seller, it's a nightmare. There's so many different ways to go, and you don't even know if anybody will accept your terms. Okay, you're guessing. You spend hours trying to structure deals you're not even sure your buyers want. So instead, we pre-flipped it. We simply asked the buyers, what terms do you guys want for this deal? Okay. They told us, and we matched it, and it closed. Okay. We made $12,000 on a deal that no one else could do. No endless paperwork, no waste of time. And we made $12,000 on a deal that everyone else called impossible. That's the power of letting your buyers lead. All right, guys. And the list goes on. I could go on about story after story after story. Margaret, I could go over any of these. These are all properties that we've pre-flipped and many more. Okay. Now, I'll be real with you guys. I didn't always think like this. I didn't always do it this way. When I first started wholesaling, I thought scaling meant more data and more buyers and more deals. So this is what I did. This is a mistake I made. When I first started nationwide wholesaling, I thought I needed tons of buyers. I paid $35,000 for this nationwide buyers list that had 1.4 million cash buyers. I still have it. I still have it today. It's my drive. But I wouldn't even sell it to any of you for $1. You know why? Because it's you don't need it. And that's when it hit me. It's not about how many more leads. It's not about having more leads or a massive buyers list. It's about having the right buyers in the right process. You just need one person to buy your property. You don't need 1 million, and you just need 2 or 3 who actually can close, right? That's the lesson that changed everything for me. So the moral of the story is $35,000 down the drain. You don't need 1,000 potential buyers. You just need 1 or 2 that can actually close and they're real, ready, and reliable. Because when you've got that, you can pre-flip every deal with confidence, and you can do this business with confidence. And you actually enjoy what you're doing because you're not guessing anymore. And that's what the pre-flip sales process is designed to do. Help you find those exact people and build real relationships with them. Okay. Now, we recently just did this deal. It took 2 phone calls. Okay. We recently did this. The seller wanted way too much money in the beginning. And we know if we would have hit them with the traditional wholesaling lowball offer, they would have said, forget you, screw you, we're not going to work with you. But this is what we did. But because we followed the pre-flip process, we were able to reset their expectations and connected it with the right buyer and made $10,000 with almost no extra work. It took me like 2 phone calls, like I said. The power of this method is it helps you reset expectations with the seller without you becoming the bad guy. It works because of the buyers that we use. Not a big list, just having the right buyers. And right now, about now, I know what all you guys are wondering. Okay, you're like, all right, Nate, that's all good, but where do we find these buyers? Okay. Is that the question that you guys are asking, like wondering? Are you guys like, man, okay, we get the process, we get the wholesaling is guessing, but where do we find these dope buyers? Is that what you guys are thinking? Because that's what I think you guys are probably thinking. But let me know. Is that true or no? 1, if you're like, yeah, where do we find these dope buyers that can buy our deals and they're dope? Give me a 1 if that's what you're thinking. All right. Okay. Now look, guys, that's the right question. And it's exactly why most people can't do this on their own. Okay. Because finding real buyers isn't about downloading a list or me giving you 1.4 million cash buyers. It's about building the right relationships, having the right conversations, and knowing exactly where to look to find them and how they can give you their best offer, whether you have the house under contract or not. So it doesn't matter if you have it under contract, if you follow this process. And that's not something that I can just teach you guys on 1 slide. And honestly, I could spend the rest of the night trying to teach you guys, but I have to go to bed soon. So I want to let you guys know that this is actually what we install for you and help you implement in our business. Okay. And knowing it is one thing, but installing it is another, because let me be real. You don't need more information. I can give you more tactics, more strategies on how to do this, but I've already overloaded you guys for tonight with tons of info. You need implementation. You need to be able to implement this in your business, not just more info. So here's what that means for you guys. You guys have two options right now. Okay. All right. So option one, you can take what I've shown you. You can go tonight and try to figure, you can take what I've shown you tonight and try to piece it all together on your own. You've got the playbooks that I'm going to be sending you guys and the worksheet and the framework, and it works. All right. It's just going to take a little bit longer if you do it alone. Or option two is you can let me and my team help you install this system into your business step by step so you can close your first or next pre-flipping deal fast. Okay. So let me go over option one again, because again, I want to give you guys the opportunity to choose what's going to be best for you. Do it yourself. You got the playbooks, direct to seller, direct to agent, direct to wholesaler. You can study these, run the numbers, and figure it out piece by piece. It'll take some time. It's going to be some trial and error, and a little bit. There's going to be trial and error, and it's going to actually probably take quite a bit of time because it took me a while to understand this process. But if you stay consistent, you're going to get there. The only catch is you're doing it alone. Okay. And option two is you do it with us. You work with me and you work with Nathan Val, you work with my team. And this is where we work together inside the pre-flipping apprenticeship, the painless flipping apprenticeship. My team and I will help you install the pre-flipping system inside your business, from sellers to buyers to offers to closings. You get hands-on coaching, accountability, support, so you're never guessing. We literally walk you through it until you close your next deal. Okay, that's how we help people implement this into their business. Okay. Now, there's a complete difference in what we do. Most people give you courses that are jam-packed with information that is not meant to, but it does overwhelm you. And most people fail because there's no implementation. There's no guidance. There's no one to coach you and help you along. The apprenticeship fixes that. It's not a course. We don't just sell information. It's a system that you install with us guiding you every step of the way. That's why our students are getting results, not theory. Not someday, not theory, like someday I'll get a deal, but deals right now. Okay. I just got a text from one of my guys saying he's just closing. He's got a $17,000 deal closing soon. Okay. Now here's the reality. If I had a crystal ball and showed you guys your life 6 months from now, you're $50,000 richer, you're running a real business, and you finally feel in control. But the only way to get there was to invest $10,000 to make it happen. Would you do it? Of course you do it, because you know it works. Okay. You can see the future. So it's not about the money, because I can literally guarantee your success when you say yes to the offer, what I'm offering tonight. We have a guarantee. This isn't some random upsell, guys. This is the exact process we've installed in dozens of businesses just like yours. And when you follow it, you get results, period. So you're probably like, well, what the heck is it then, Nate? Tell me. All right. It's the pre-flipping apprenticeship. It's where we work directly with you to install the same system you just learned tonight. Okay, so again, you have options. Do it yourself, or let us install the system into your business. And this is what we're going to be going over. This is what we offer to help people. And you can book a call to see if you qualify for our apprenticeship, because you have to apply. We can't work with everyone. There's limited spots because we work directly with you in a partnership. Now, you're going to get everything, all the same tools my team uses and my team and I use to do deals across the country. Plus, you're going to get help to get your first pre-flip closed. You're going to get weekly coaching calls, direct feedback on deals, access to my buyers network, all system scripts and playbooks, lifetime access to updates. All right. Not only are you going to get that, but this is what sets our apprenticeship apart. Okay. Now, the prices that are here are what we used to charge for these systems, but we're putting it all into our apprenticeship so we can do deals with you. This is an apprenticeship. We can do deals with you. You can join. You don't have to do deals with us, but we found that when we do deals with people, they succeed faster and the process is easier, and they learn better because they actually can see how we do the process. Okay. So you get a 10-week guided apprenticeship. All right. So you get the guidance for going through this. It's not like you just get a course and it's like, good luck. No, it's guided. Okay, you get done for you deals. You are literally able to submit deals onto our calendar. We'll call your seller. We'll tell you how it goes, and we'll lock up the deal, and we'll do the deal with you. Okay. Now, if you were to hire an acquisitions person with commissions and salary, it would cost well over $60,000, especially for people that like us that know how to do deals. But that's why we put that price there. Okay. That's not what we charge. I'm just saying this is the value. Now, there's an automated seller lead system that we plug into your business as well that gets you motivated sellers that are going right to your inbox. Okay. And this is a program that we use that not a lot of people know about because you have to be a qualified investor to use it. So it's not just getting pitched. Not everybody just has it. Now, weekly coaching, you get weekly coaching and one-on-one support on the deals. When we work on deals together, you literally get that one-on-one support. Lifetime portal and deal vault and mastermind community. Okay. All these things, all the values on there is what you get. So how do you join? How do you try to apply for the Payneless Flipping Apprenticeship? You literally just book a call. Okay. Pretty simple. So here's how it works. You book a call. We'll see where you're at. And if it's a good fit, we'll invite you to join the apprenticeship. If it's a good fit, if it's not, we'll say it's not. Okay. No pressure, no weird sales pitch. It's literally just a conversation to see if we're a good fit to work together and we're good to install this into your business. Now, the thing is, guys, I could tell you all day that this works, but I actually think it's just better if I show you. These are real students that we have who came in, followed the process, and closed deals using the pre-flip method. Some had zero experience, and some were stuck with problems, the same problems we talked about tonight of just guessing. We have many of our clients that we work with, have been doing it for years until they came into our program. Now they're crushing it. Okay. Now, if they can do it, so can you. And this is Mike. He was doing wholesaling for years. I think maybe a year or two, then with no results. He got his first deal working with us, $18,590. Okay. Next, a couple months later, Mike was able to do 4 deals. Okay. $66,590 total in under 6 months with under $5,000 ad spend. Okay. And Mike says right here, can't thank you guys enough. Okay. So that's just one of our guys that we're working with. Here's Caden. He's the one that just texted me and said, hey, I got my 3rd deal coming for $17,000. He's already made $40,000 on 2 deals he's done. And he spent on those 2 deals, he spent less than $250 in ad spend. Okay. Now he's got another one in the pipeline. You got Nelly. Spent years trying to figure out this business. Couldn't figure it out because she was following the old traditional wholesaling model of just guessing. We showed her how to do pre-flipping, and she was able to do her first deal for $7,000 in less than 3 hours of actual work. Let's fast forward. Within 6 months, she was able to do 6 figures. Nelly is actually one of the ones that helped us do the $86,000 deal. We showed her and helped her do it. Okay. Over 125K on 2 deals. Daniel has gone on after a couple months after he joined our program. He was able to do something he wasn't even aware of this strategy. He was able to implement it, and he was able to do over $125,000 on those 2 deals. And he's gone on to do many more. Okay. Nick was able to do $40,000 on his first deal, implementing the strategy we told him. Okay. That we've taught you guys tonight. This is the Griffith family. Okay. The Griffith family actually had locked up a deal way too high on the MLS. And I reached out to him. I said, hey, you're a little too high, but let me help you negotiate this. I helped them negotiate it down, and we did a $25,000 deal minus fees, and then we split the deal. Okay, this is Justin. Justin was able to do a deal for $17,200. Yoel watched our masterclass, the same masterclass that you guys are watching, and he went out and took action, and he did 2 deals in 7 days. All right, one of them was $5K. Look at this. Nate's method taught me what to do in a situation where an agent wanted 10K EMD in 24 hours. Still got the deal done. 5K. Appreciate Investor Thrive does. Okay, that's another example. All right, now look, what has this system done for me personally? I've done a lot of deals. Okay. I've done a lot of deals nationwide. I used to hate wholesaling. I'm telling you guys again, I hated the way it was done. Started doing it this way. I really like it now. It's easy. It's predictable. And I'm not lying. And I feel good about what I do. Okay. List goes on. Now, you guys probably want to know a little bit more about me. I didn't introduce myself in the beginning, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself just so you guys know a little bit more about me if you're curious. I built over a 7-figure per year wholesaling business. I closed and have been part of hundreds of deals nationwide. I live outside the United States, and I still wholesale because you can do this business anywhere in the world. I have over 150 reviews, 5 stars, average satisfaction, and I've been mentoring for years. Okay. I've had the opportunity to go on podcasts, hold meetings, speak at events, make content that's free for everyone. And I don't know, I really started doing this because when I started Wholesale, I can tell you my journey, it sucked. Like when I first started, I've always felt like I was wasting my time. I was just wasting sellers' time. I was doing the wrong process. But once I figure out how to pre-flip, I wanted to tell everyone about it. Okay. I decided to teach people about real estate because I saw that the industry was teaching the wrong way. I saw that they were just giving away information and not implementation. And that's not how people learn. Okay. And I saw that the way traditional wholesaling is being taught was flawed and I believe a little unethical. The way that's a lot of people that do it. Not saying that people teach it are unethical, but the way it's being done. I wanted to provide a better way for people to learn and to provide a way that they could learn the way I wish I would have been able to be taught, or find someone that could teach, I guess, the way that I do it. Now, look, all the businesses I've run and all the money I've made really came down to one decision I made a long time ago. And that was just to go all in. Okay. So if you're watching this and you're like, this seems pretty nice, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is legit. I don't know if I should go all in. Guys, book a call and let's talk about it, because I promise you, if you go all in, it's going to create the life you want. Why? Mainly because when you bet on yourself and not someone else, you succeed, especially if you have the right people in your corner. All right. Now, look, you're probably all asking, what the heck? What if this doesn't work for me though, Nate? Look, I know joining something new can feel risky. That's why we made this super simple. If we can't help you get results, you don't pay. That's it. That's all. We only win when you win. It's as simple as that. We have this crazy guarantee. It's called the straight up stupid 60-day refund guarantee. As long as you plan on going through the information in the course, you have 60 days to try it out. And if you aren't 100% satisfied, you have a complete risk-free refund guarantee. And we'll send you $100 for wasting your time. Okay. Now, why should you book now? We only take on a few small number of people. I haven't built my business to take in thousands of people. I built my business to help specific people that join. And that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to just have some money printing machine that just brings in people and churns them, just like some of the businesses out there. We only take a small number of people on new apprentices each month. So we actually can give you the attention you need. Okay. This is an apprenticeship. It's not a course. You come in, we teach you, we work with you. Once those spots are filled, we close enrollment until we're able to do it the next round again. So if you're serious about doing this business, now's the time to book your call. Okay. The link is at the bottom. That's all you got to do. Just book a call, paynelessflipping.com. So you're going to go to the site. You're going to press on the button that says book a call, and you're going to pick a time and we're going to chat. Simple as that. So you click on the link, you pick the time, like I said, that fits right for you. And if it's a good fit for both of us, we'll get you started. And if it's not, you'll still walk away knowing exactly what to focus on. Either way, it's a win-win for you. So let me ask you this. Is anyone still not sure about booking a call? It's okay. If you guys aren't still not sure about booking a call, I'm like that too. Sometimes I got to actually see what it looks like, not just have it be told to me, but what does it look like? So I'm actually going to peel back the apprenticeship so you guys can see what it looks like when we work with people. Okay. So here it is. Done for you deals. Okay. We don't just teach, we partner with you. Now we give everyone the opportunity that comes into the apprenticeship. You can do your own deal. You don't have to partner with us because we do deal splits, but you don't have to partner with us. We can just guide you and tell you what to do. But we found that most people that actually partner with us, that actually do the business with us, they learn faster because they see how it's done the right way, how to do the negotiations. And that's the best way to learn. That's what we found. Okay. It's like me just telling you how to ride a bike, or you're reading about how to ride a bike. It's different than me actually getting you on the bike, helping you pedal, telling you what you're doing wrong. That's the right way to learn. Okay. Done for you deals. And that's how you earn while you learn. Okay. Now, this is an example of a deal that we're doing. Okay. So right here is 860 Sweet Mill Lane. All right. If you guys can see here that, I'm doing the transaction coordination because Nathan Valley, my business partner, he does the negotiation and the sales for you, and we teaches you that part, and I do the transaction coordination. This specific deal, I've had to talk to the attorney and the title company this many emails: 28, 4, 56, 19, 7, 27. This is legit. Okay. This is literally, this is the conversations I'm having with him about this deal. This deal was in pre-foreclosure. No, I'm sorry. Actually, it is in pre-foreclosure. It was going to be sold at the auction on October. I think it was actually September. We were able to extend the close date. We were actually able to extend the auction until March of next year. Okay. That's not something everybody knows how to do, but we were able to stop the auction for the tax sale and get it extended. Not only have we been able to get it extended, but we were able to help renegotiate through the pre-flip method. The buyer wanted way too much, but we used real data to help her understand that she was wanting too much, and we got the price renegotiated. And like I said, I've been coordinating this deal, and it's been a doozy. But we do this for our clients because we want to help them succeed. Okay, we want to help people that work with us crush it. Now, when it comes to the 10 complete weeks of training, we go over how to start wholesaling business and get deals fast, how to take that business and scale it fast, how to apply advanced sales tactics to get an unfair edge, in the exact way to get motivated sellers with any budget, the exact scripts and the words to say, the exact way to find the best buyers and what to say to them, in the exact contracts and paperwork, the exact everything. So if you're like, man, I don't know if I'm going to get everything I need, we're going to give you exactly what you need. Okay. A lot of people overcomplicate this, but we make it simple. Now, in the Payneless Flipping Apprenticeship portal, this is what it looks like. Okay. You come in, you start here. You have like a little onboarding video you got to watch. We identify your why. Why do you want to do this? We identify your goals. We help you build your plan, your life plan, and reverse engineer it. I help you pick your specific market, your market that we have to make sure it's a good one so pre-flipping works. And then we have a battle plan call where we talk one-on-one and we make sure that I understand your goals and you have the right market. After that, we set you up with your automated lead funnel. We get your marketing going, and we tell you exactly the script. We give you the exact script you need to qualify the leads that are going to be coming in. Okay. It's a very simple process. It's very streamlined. That's why we're able to take on more people right now, because we have the process dialed in where you come in and we get you leads and you get rolling. Okay. The Payneless Flipping Easy Button Lead System. Okay. We install this directly into your business. So this is the exact automated seller lead system we use. Okay. It's pre-built. There's a pre-built CRM that comes with it, and it's the follow-up automations come in it, and your leads are on autopilot. All right. This is what it looks like. Leads come directly to you. They come to your inbox. You call them, and then you take them through the scripts that we give you. All right. Now, these are people, obviously, that we've gotten results for, and these are people we've worked with, and they're doing the exact tactics that I showed you tonight. Okay. This is Mark. He learned about pre-flipping. He's using it to do deals, land deals. It's working for him. All right. On top of all that, we do the weekly coaching calls, and you get one-on-one support. Okay. On the weekly coaching calls, we dive down deep into your deals. We'll help you comp them. We'll listen to your calls and give you critiques. You can submit your calls that you have with your sellers, and we'll give you feedback on how to be better. Okay. So you actually can improve, not just we give you some feedback that isn't legit because we're just like off of what we think. We actually listen to your calls if you submit them. Okay. Let's see. On top of that, you get lifetime training, the lifetime training portal, and deal breakdown vault. Okay. So you get access to all the course modules when they get updated, the scripts and all the call recordings. So if you guys miss one because you're not there one night, you can watch them. And these are just this example of where we hold the recordings. Also, you get the pre-flip private mastermind community. Okay. This is where you're going to be able to go and grow with other like-minded investors. Now, like I said, we don't take on too many people at a time. So this is a very tight-knit community. It's not like you're joining in with thousands of other people. This is just people that are doing the business, that are struggling with the same things, or struggling and succeeding. Okay. Not everybody just comes in here and immediately crushes it. You have to learn. Okay. Now, this is what the group looks like. We help you pick your market. We pump each other up on the goals that we do. We get excited when people do deals. We share our wins with the world. Okay. Now, look, this is going to get more done than a 7-year college degree. I don't care. There's so many degrees out there. People spend years going to college for a degree and for a career they don't even know will exist in a couple months with AI. Okay. Why spend 5-6 years going into debt on something you don't even know if you want to do when you can join and in 30 days, okay, you can be debt free and the sky's the limit. All right. Now, it's not always 30 days, right? It can take longer. Depends how long you take to go through everything and get your leads set up, but it's possible, all right? So let's look at a realistic situation. You go to college, $200K in debt, making $90,000 a year to work 60 hours a week at a desk doing stuff that you don't want to do, and 30 days or 30 days debt-free, and the sky's the limit. Now, I want to stress that to you guys, that you're going to be getting more in this training than you would in college. And I can promise you that because I've been to college. You're going to get more out of that, out of what we got for you than most colleges. Let's look at it. Let's look at it if you spend 4 to 5 years in college becoming an accountant or a lawyer or whatever. Usually the first 7 years you slave away as a grunt making $90,000, $100,000 a year. Now let's look at the situation over on the right. We don't go to college to master we don't go to college master. Oh man, I don't know what. Sorry, I wrote this down and I don't like that. But anyway, Caden didn't have to go to college in order to make $40,000 and learn this process. So the question I want to ask you guys is, which one do you want to do? Do you want to go get a career in something that you don't know if you'll even like and go thousands and thousands of dollars in debt, or do you want to learn this process, the pre-flip process, and have it installed in your business? Okay. So these are other people that we work with to help them close deals and do deals pre-flipping way. Okay. Been able to help people all over the country close their first deal or next deal and implement this system of doing deals the right way, the painless way, into their businesses. Okay. Just had more pictures, but it doesn't load for some reason. Okay. Here it is. The only true way to lose here is not hopping on this zero risk investment in your future. Why do we say it's zero risk? Because we guarantee it. Okay. So the question is, can you actually do this? The question that you guys got to ask yourself is like, do you believe that you can do this? So I got to ask you guys, can you find motivated sellers? The answer is yes. Then you can do this. Can you say the words from our script? Hopefully you can. I believe you can. If you can, book a call. Can you find buyers like we do? Absolutely. We're going to show you how to do it. Can you get near immediate help? Yes. Can you do this if I spoke to the seller for you, found the buyer for you, handled the paperwork for you, and you got to see how it was all done? Yes. Of course you could. Now, this is Dylan. He did his wholesale deal for $17,809. This is Noble, who's able to do one of his biggest deals, or his biggest deal that he's ever done, $11,400. Okay. And that was while Noble was working at Kroger. So let me ask you guys, can you guys afford to stay on the fence? Only if you guys don't mind paying more later, because the price that we're doing right now, when we talk with you, we're very flexible on the payment plans to get people in, because I said we're looking to work with some people before we close for the next round. Only if you don't mind losing tons of deals and bonuses, because we're giving these bonuses away, and we're not always going to give these away. Only if you don't mind losing tons of money doing this on your own. You're going, inevitably, when you do anything yourself without guidance, you're going to waste a lot of your own time, and time is money. Okay, only if you don't mind wasting, again, 6, 12, 24 months and having it done versus having it done in 40 and 30 days. Only if you don't mind rolling the dice versus us handling it for you. Okay, that's what you're running the risk of. Okay, and like I said, all you gotta do is book a call. We can chat about it. Now, you're probably wondering, will this work for me if I'm a total beginner? Absolutely. That's who we work with, are the beginners. Now, if you're experienced, that's fine. We can work with you, but usually we have to untrain bad habits when people come and work with us if they've been doing this for a while. Can you do it if you're foreign? Yes, I did. We did a deal with Henry. He's from Vietnam. He's from a foreign country. Had an accent. Still did a deal. Old or young? Yes, it doesn't matter if you're old or young. We can do deals with you. We can help you. Shy, not good at selling. That's okay. No one is born coming out of the womb as a good salesman. It's a skill that we teach you. So if you guys are wondering about the course, you're like, well, what about this course, Nate? You get it updated for life. All right. We don't take it away from you. And it's constantly getting updated. We're not stuck on the pre-flipping method because it sounds cool. We are stuck on what works. So if something works better tomorrow, we're going to update the course and get you taught onto what works best. You can do this with as little as 2 hours a week. A lot of the people we're working with right now have full-time jobs. What they're able to do is invest in the marketing. Leads come in, they do the qualification call, and then we help them through the rest of the process until they take over themselves. You have coaching for a full year, okay? One-on-one. And you have full access immediately after purchase. After you buy, after you join, you get full access to the whole thing. So what about this 60-day action-based guarantee refund thing? It's just that, guys. It's a guarantee. You are literally only taking a risk of a bit of your time. The true risk is losing these bonuses in price. A year plus of trying to do this on your own and the ability to have this working in 30 days versus never. Now, I like to spell this out for everybody so you know why this is such an opportunity that you got to hop on and book a call. Software, if you get software yourself, you're going to have to get a CRM. You're going to have to get automation set up. That's going to be about $1,200, okay? If you get lead generation software, you try to figure that out yourself. It's going to be anywhere from $300 to $500. Then you're probably going to make a mistake and go get VA cold callers or a texter. And that's going to cost you money too. If you go ads, if you do ad spend, lead lists, marketing, it's $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And that's if you're doing it the right way. And who knows? And I said, not that's if you do it the right way. And who knows if you're doing it the right way? Okay. I know I used to spend a ton of money on marketing, never got any results because I was doing the traditional wholesaling model and I was marketing to the wrong people. Sales training and coaching, it's going to be at least $2,000. Okay. And still no personal help like we do in the apprenticeship. This apprenticeship model doesn't really exist other than I would say what we do, because we actually help you close the deal and we do deals together if you want. So actual hands-on guidance, doesn't really exist, okay? Unless you go work for someone. It would cost you over $5,000 just to attempt this on your own, okay? And a lot of the questions people have as they're considering doing this is, will deals be harder to find in the future? More and more people are facing financial distress and need help finding a solution. So let me tell you, with the debt increasing, people are going to need more and more solutions to sell their house fast. Will deals be harder to find? As I showed you guys, the consumer debt, household debt is climbing. So this is hands down the best option out there. I'm telling you guys, the best place for to begin as a beginner, the best business to start, the best community to be a part of, the best sales process, the best coaching. Okay. I might be biased, but I think me and Nathan Valley are extremely good at coaching because we actually care, and the best results of any real estate group. Okay. So what's the alternative here? If you don't join, this is what you can do. Go get a college degree, $50,000 plus, $40,000, 40 years of BS for 15 years of frugal living. Is that what you want? Right? That's what most people do if they go the safe, if they go with what's called the safe route, or do you want to spend 71% of your time working, building someone else's dream, spending your life pissed off, all for the risk-free price of one college class? Okay. Our apprenticeship is not some crazy price. Okay. So let's start closing this down because I need to go to bed, and I'm assuming all you guys that are watching, you've either made a decision on whether you're going to book a call or not. Okay. You've seen how I am. You've seen how we work. If you guys are interested at all, it's as simple as booking a call. We'd love to chat with you guys. And I want to say thank you to everyone that's been on here. Now let's get you paid the painless way. And remember, you guys don't need luck in this business. You need a sales process. Okay. So I appreciate everyone being on here, and we'll see you on the next masterclass if you guys decide to come on another one. But really, I've given you all the information you need to succeed. You guys just need to go and implement it with the playbooks that I've given you, or you need to book a call and work with us so we can actually help you crush it. Okay. So I hope that helps everybody out. Does anyone have any questions right now? Go ahead in the chat. If anybody that's still on here before I wrap up, if you have any questions, I'd love to answer anything for you guys now, or just book a call and we'll chat. It's kind of hot in here. I thought it'd be cold today, but I got the heaters going. Yeah. Any questions from everybody? Throw it in the chat. I'm open and willing to answer anything you guys got. Let's see. Great. Let's see. Any questions, anybody, about what we talked about tonight? Pre-flipping, anything I went over? See, there's quite a few people on the live, so I'd love to answer any questions you guys have. Or just tell me how you guys think I did. I'm curious. Did you guys learn a lot tonight? Was it helpful? What do you guys think? About to wrap it up. About to go to bed tonight. But right now it's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, so it's about time to wrap it up. About to go to sleep soon. So, anybody? Any questions? Just throw them on in there. Show us buyers. Oh, you want to see some buyers now? All right. Well, Ron, I'd love to do that. I'll give you a tidbit on how I do it, because I'm pretty gassed right now after all that training. So, in order to find right buyers, when you have a potential property that you're trying to dispo or trying to do pre-flip, you take the address of the property. This is one of the ways. There's many different ways, but you take the address of the property and you can put it into Zillow. You can put it into Batch Leads. You can put it in any of these softwares. And what you do is you filter the area for cash buyers if you have a software, or you if you're on Zillow, you just look for properties that look like they've been flipped recently. And you have two options. You can call the real estate agent who represented the cash buyer, and you can say, hey, I have a property. I have a property near the one that I see that you've listed or that you've represented this buyer. Is your buyer looking for more deals, or do you have any more buyers, right? And you can say, I'm currently negotiating with the seller, and I'm trying to see if anybody would be interested in this property, right? So you have that conversation with the agent, or you can have it directly with the buyer. And again, you do not, if you set the right expectations, if you have the right script, if you have the right because it all comes down to conversations and building trust. If you have the right conversation with the seller, if you have the right conversation with the buyers, there's nothing to worry about. There's no snaking. I've never had anyone take a deal for me. A lot of people are like, well, if you don't have it under contract, won't someone try and snake it? People, if they're going to snake it, they don't care if you have a contract or not. They're snakes, right? So I would say, guys, that is what, you need to make sure that you're doing that. That's one of the process. Sorry, I'm just looking at, it says the mic isn't on, but it should be on. Let's see. I think you guys can hear me, right? I believe you can. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you guys can. It's weird. I didn't say it's on my little audio thing. It was saying that it wasn't working. So that's what I would do, Ron. That's the best. That's what I can do for you tonight. Any other questions tonight, guys? Hopefully that was helpful, Ron. Kind of let you know, it doesn't matter what software you use. It's just like either Zillow or any of the softwares out there, and then you look and you see what buyers have purchased properties recently around the address that you have. Okay. Anything else, guys? No? All right. We're going to wrap it up. Book a call, guys, if you have any questions. Love to chat. See you on the next one.